Measures of position naman tayo ngayon. Under measures of position, meron tayong tatlong klase. Ito yung ating percentiles, deciles, and quartiles. So, pagdating sa measures of position class, kino-compare natin yung location ng value doon sa ating dataset in relation sa iba pa niyang kasamang mga values. So, yun yung gagawin naman natin dito. Now, let us start with how to solve, how to get the percentiles. Okay? Unahin natin ang percentiles. Ito sa percentiles, it divides yung ating dataset into 100 equal parts. Kasi from the word percent or percentage, diba, 100 parts. And it can also be found for any percent from 1 to 99. Hindi po tayo mag-exceed ng 101, 102, or beyond. Kasi nga hanggang 100 parts lang yung pagkahati ng percentiles doon sa ating dataset. So, from 1 to 99. Okay. And percentiles is denoted as P sub K or P sub K, or minsan din kasi P sub R yung ginagamit kasi we are referring to the percentile rank. Okay, yung iba P sub K or P sub R, but still they are just the same. Wherein yung P, of course, yun yung percentile, and then yung subscript natin na R, yan yung percentile rank mismo, which indicates na the percent of yung distribution that falls below the percentile. Okay, so for example, if we have 10th percentile or P sub 10, 10th percentile ang pagbasa natin dyan. So, the 10th percentile na makukuha mo is larger than nung 10% of nung distribution dun sa dataset. Okay, so para mas malinaw kung paano ba ang percentile at ano ito, let's have an example. So, for instance, we have this data set. Copy ko lang. Ayan. For instance, we have this data set. Let us say, ito ay scores ng mga bata sa kanilang seat work. Okay? So, let us try to find, hanapin natin ngayon kung asan ba ang 25th percentile. Hanapin din natin yung 60th percentile at hanapin natin kung paano hanapin yung percentile rank ng given number. So, percentile rank of 4. Okay. So, unahin natin yung 25th percentile. So, paano natin yan kukunin? Number 1, first thing first daw ka mag-solve, okay? Even sa pagkuha ng deciles and quartiles later on, make sure na naka-arrange or nakaayos yung ating dataset into ascending order from lowest to highest. Kasi kung hindi yan nakaayos, at nag-proceed ka kaagad sa pag-solve, paggamit ng formula, mamamali pa rin yung sagot mo kasi nga hindi naka-arrange yung dataset mo into ascending order. So, yan yung lagi-lagi yung tatandaan before kayo magsagot. Dapat naka-arrange into ascending order. So, now, let us find the 25th percentile using the given dataset. So, pangalawang gagawin natin is to use the formula C is equal to N times R, wherein yung ating N ay yan yung mismo number of observations natin. So, ibig sabihin, bilangin mo or ilan ba yung numbers doon sa given dataset mo. In this case, meron tayong 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 na numbers. So, C is equal to 10. Sunod is yung ating R. Ano ba yung R? Diba hinahanap natin ay 25th percentile. And si 25 ay yan mismo yung percentile rank na hinahanap natin, which is yung R natin. So, siya si R. So, in 25th percentile, that is 25%, right? Or in decimal form, that is 0.25. So, yan yung ilalagay natin dito sa R natin, yung decimal form. So, compute natin. 10 times 0.25 will give us the answer 2.5, right? Okay, sige, mag-solve muna tayo. Si C na 2.5 na nakuha natin ay hindi pa po dyan, hindi pa yan yung hinahanap natin na 25th percentile. Kasi yung nakuha nating value ni C, yan pa lang yung location ng ating 25th percentile. Okay? But, yung nakuha nating value ni C ay hindi whole number. So, anong gagawin natin kapag ganyang hindi whole number yung ating makukuha? Dalawang case kasi. Okay, so, kapag whole number, kapag decimal yung makukuha nating value ng ating C, mag-round up lang tayo. Okay? Pero kapag whole number, yung makukuha nating value ni C, kunin natin yung average. Okay? Let's say, ang makukuha nating value ay 4 na C, di ba? Para makuha natin yung average, kunin mo lang yung pang-4 at yung pang-5. Dun sa data, divide mo sa 2, yun na yung sagot or yun na yung hinahanap nating percentile rank. Okay? So, in this case, dito sa unang example natin, decimal yung nakuha nating si C. So, ang gagawin lang natin ay mag-round up lang tayo. So, from 2.5, ang C natin ngayon ay 3. So, hanapin natin yung pangatlong number, pangatlong observation natin doon sa ating dataset. At yun na yung magiging yun na yung hinahanap nating 25th percentile. So, in this case, 1, 2, 3, si 5 yung ating na hinahanap na 25th percentile. So, if we're going to write the correct answer, 25th percentile is equal to 5. Ang ibig sabihin yan, indication ng sagot nating ito ay ibig sabihin that 25% ng ating observation ay less than 5. Okay? Ay less than 5. So, yun yung indication ng ating 25th percentile. Next, subukan naman nating hanapin si 60th percentile using the same data set. Okay, copy ko lang. Okay. So, hanapin natin ngayon yung 60th percentile. Again, make sure na naka-arrange. But since same data set naman yung ginamit natin, naka-arrange na yan. So, gagawin lang natin, kunin ulit natin si C. N is equal to R. So, hindi naman na bago yung number of observations natin is still 10 kasi same data yung ginamit natin, right? And yung R natin, mababago na kasi yung hinahanap na natin ay 60th percentile. Okay? And that is 60% or in decimal form, that is 0.6, diba? So, 0.6 yung ilalagay natin sa ating R. And then, C, multiply natin, 10 times 0.6 is equal to 6. Again, ito pa lang po yung position ng hinahanap nating 60th percentile. But, take note, ano ba yung nakuha nating C? Whole number, diba? So, anong gagawin natin kapag whole number yung makukuha nating C? Kunin ang average, okay? So, in that case, kukunin natin yung average ng pang-6 at pang-7 number dun sa dataset natin at i-divide natin sa 2, yun na yung magiging sagot natin. So, ano ba yung pang-6 at pang-7 number dito? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, ito yung pang-6 natin at pang-7. Kunin natin yung average nila. 10 plus 12 divided by 2. 10 plus 12 is 22 divided by 2. Okay, so ibig sabihin 11 yung ating hinahanap na sagot. Between 10 and 12 is doon natin makikita yung ating pang 60th percentile, which is C number 11. Okay? And ibig sabihin lang yan na we conclude na 60%, I should say, 60% nung ating observation ay less than 11. So, yun naman yung ibig sabihin nung pagkuha natin ng 60th percentile. 60% ng ating observation ay less than 11. So, ano yun? So, I hope nakuha nyo. I-recap lang natin. Kapag whole number, I should say, kapag decimal yung makukuha mong value, i-round up mo yon regardless of the value ng decimal mo. 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, basta decimal yung nakuha mo, i-round up mo na kaagad, okay? Para yun na yung pagbabasehan mo kung nasaan ba yung location ng hinahanap mong percentile rank. And again, kung ito naman ay whole number, yung makukuha mong value ng C, kunin mo lang yung average, okay? Pang-6 at pang-7, yung magkasunod lang na number. Then, yun na yung magiging sagot. Yun na yung hinahanap mo doon sa yung percentile rank na hinahanap. Tapos na tayo sa percentiles, deciles naman ang pag-usapan natin. So, pagdating naman sa deciles, unlike percentiles, it divides the dataset into 100 equal parts, right? Dito naman sa deciles, another measures of position naman ito, which divide naman yung ating dataset into tenths, okay? Or 10, okay? And it can only be found just like percentiles from 1 to 99 kasi divides the dataset into 100 parts. But here in deciles, it can only be found from 1 to 9. Kasi nga, 10, dinidivide lang niya ang dataset into tenths. And, of course, just like percentiles, deciles is also denoted as D sub R or D sub K. Okay? And again, yung ating subscript na R or subscript na K, for example, meron tayong the sub, let's say the sub 4, okay, or fourth decile. The fourth decile, and ito yung value that is larger naman than 4/10 nung ibang mga value doon sa ating dataset. Okay, so mag-example tayo. Magkaiba yung formula ng percentile sa pagkuha ng deciles at quartiles, okay? Si deciles at quartiles ay pareho ng formula. Pero si percentiles, iba yung pagkuha natin sa kanya. So, let us say for instance, ito naman yung ating example na dataset, okay? So, hanapin naman natin ngayon yung third decile. Ang formula natin in finding deciles is D is equal to K multiplied to the quantity of n plus 1. Lagyan natin ng TH kasi location pa lang yung hinahanap natin dito. Okay? Pag nakuha mo yung sagot sa D, yun pa lang yung location ng hinahanap natin. Divided by 4. Or, sorry, it's not 4 kasi decimals pala ito. Divided by 10. 10 ang i-divide natin kasi decimals yung hinahanap natin. Tenths, it divides the data into tenths, diba? So, 10 yung ating denominator dito. So, ito lang yung ating formula na gagamitin sa paghanap ng decimals. So, in this case, hanapin natin yung third decile doon sa ating dito sa ating given data set. So, since third decile, gamitin natin kaagad yung ating formula. Third decile is equal to, again, yung K natin, yan yung R natin dito. So, you can see R or K nilagay ko kanina. So, si K ay si 3. Lagay mo lang si 3 multiplied sa N. Ano ba yung N natin? N is always the number of observations. So, ilan yung numbers natin dito sa ating data set? We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. Meron tayong 9 plus 1. Constant si 1 hindi magbabago si 1 dyan. Laging nandyan si 1. Divided by 10. Alright, so let's compute. 9 plus 1 is 10, of course, times 3, that will be 30, divided by 10, the answer is 3. Okay, meaning to say, yan yung location nung hinahanap nating third decile. So, from that, bilangin mo lang kung ano ba yung pangatlong number dun sa ating dataset, which is 1, 2, 3, and it is clear naman na yung pangatlong number dun sa ating dataset ay 12. Therefore, yung hinahanap nating value ng ating third decile ay 12. Okay? Next, what if hanapin naman natin same data set. Try naman nating hanapin ang 7th decile. Okay? So, same data set. So, same formula. Then, ang gagamitin natin sa pagkuha ng 7th decile, we have D sub 7 is equal to K n plus 1 divided by 10. So, ang K natin ay kung ano yung subscript or ano yung value ng hinahanap nating decile. That is 7. And then, yung N natin is still 9 numbers of observation pa rin naman. So, 9 plus 1 divided by 10. And 9 plus 1 is 10 times 7 is 70 divided by 10. It will give us the answer 7. So kung ano naman yung pang 7 na number, yun yung hinahanap natin sa 8. Yun yung hinahanap natin sa 7th decile natin. So, bilangan natin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, therefore, we have this 19. Yan yung hinahanap natin na pang 7th decile natin, which is 19. Now, let's have another example. What if, copy ko lang to. What if ang value or meron tayong, nagdagan ko lang to let's say meron tayong 25. So, magiging 10 na yung ating number of observations dito. Okay, so, same hanapin natin si D7. Nagdagdag lang tayo ng numbers dun sa number of observation natin. Tingnan natin, i-compare lang natin. D sub 7, 7th decile. So, same procedure. The 7th decile is equal to K n plus 1 divided by 10. Our K is 7. Ang N na natin dito ay 10 kasi nagdagdag tayo ng 25. So, 10 na yung bilang ng number of observations natin. Plus 1 divided by 10. Okay, so 10 plus 1 is 11 times 7 is, 11 times 7 is 77 divided by 10. Ang magiging sagot natin dyan ay 7.7. O, diba? Magkaiba sila ng magkaiba na yung sagot kasi iba na yung number of observations natin. So, anong gagawin natin dyan? Kasi hindi naman whole number yung ating nakuha, right? So, all we need to do, kapag ganyang case, ibig sabihin, kunin mo yung pang-pito na observation, i-add mo yung decimal. Okay, i-add mo yung decimal. Ano ba yung decimal niya? That is 0.7. I-multiply mo doon sa siya doon sa fraction na makukuha mo doon sa pang-8 at pang-7 observation doon sa dataset. Okay? So, ilagay natin. Ano ba yung pang-7 number doon sa dataset natin? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Si 19 ang pang-7. So, 19, ilagay mo si 19 dyan, plus 0.7. Then, ano ba yung pang-8 natin? Which is si 20. 20 minus yung pang-7, which is si 19, right? Solve natin yan. 20 less 19, of course, 1 times 0.7, that is still 0.7 plus 19, tama? Okay. It will give us the final answer 19.7. Therefore, si 19.7 ang hinahanap nating 7th decile dito sa ating number set of dito sa ating given data set of numbers. So, the 7th decile is equal to 19.7. So, yun yung pinagkaiba. Kapag odd yung bilang nung dataset natin sa pagkuha ng deciles at as it is, diretso kung pang ilan yung location, di ba? Yun na yung sagot. But, kung meron tayong decimals na makukuha, gagawin mo lang, kunin yung pang-7, i-add mo yung decimals, then isubtract mo yung pang-8 at pang-7. Depende kung 5.7 ito, sa malamang yung pang-5 number ang lalagay mo dito at ang isusubtract mo dito ay yung pang-6 at pang-5 number. Okay? Huwag kayong malilito sana dyan. So, yan naman yung paraan natin para makuha yung deciles natin. Last na pag-uusapan natin sa measures of position ay ang quartiles. So, dito naman sa quartiles, kung ang percentiles ay dinidivide niya ang rank data or rank scores into 100 equal parts, and ang deciles ay dinidivide naman niya ang rank data natin into 10 equal parts. Dito naman sa quartiles class ay dinidivide niya ang rank scores into 4 equal parts. Okay? Into 4 equal parts. And dito sa quartiles, it can be found for 1, 2, 3 lamang. Okay? Meaning to say, meron lang tayong first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile. So, for the first quartile, ito yung value that is larger than 1/4 ng ating observations doon sa given distribution natin. And sa median naman, ang median natin, it would also mean yung ating median. So, kung ano yung median natin dun sa dataset, yun na mismo yung ating second quartile. Okay, to make it easier to understand, no? Mag-example tayo ng sample dataset. So, let us say these are the scores of students in their quiz, okay? So, we have 3, 9, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19, 20, 24. And just like deciles and percentiles, first thing first is to make sure na naka-arrange yung ating given dataset into ascending order from lowest to highest. And after that, tsaka ka lang mag-proceed in using your formula. So, just like deciles, pareho tayo ng gagamiting formula. But, ang pinagkaiba lang ay yung gagamitin nating denominator. Kasi ang deciles ay it divides the data into 10 equal parts, kaya 10 yung denominator natin doon. But here in quartiles, 4 ang gagamitin natin sa denominator natin dun sa formula kasi it divides the data into 4 equal parts. So, Q is equal to K. Q sub K, I forgot the subscript K doon. Q sub K is equal to K times the quantity of n plus 1 and indicate the location divided by 4 kasi quartiles tayo ngayon. So, let us see. Subukan nating hanapin ang first quartile natin, second quartile, and third quartile using the formula. So, with that, unahin natin ang first quartile natin. So, our K will be 1, obviously, and yung N natin ay yung number of observations. Therefore, we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 na number of observations plus 1 divided by 4. So, if we're going to solve that, we'll have 9 plus 1, of course, that is 10, times 1 is still 10, divided by 4 will give us 2.5. Well, in this case, kagaya ng pagkuha natin ng deciles, diba? Kapag decimals yung nakuha natin, hindi naman natin malolocate yung 2.5 na location doon sa ating dataset. So, ang gagawin natin, just like deciles, kunin mo yung pangalawang number plus yung decimal natin na nakuha, that is 0.5, multiply natin sa subtraction ng pangatlong number at ng pangalawang number doon sa ating observation. And in this case, ang magiging sagot natin ay ang pangalawang number natin ay si 9 plus 0.5 and yung pangatlong number natin ay si 12 less 9. So, solve natin. 12 less 9 times 0.5 plus 9, that is equal to 10.5. So, ang first quartile natin ay equal to 10.5. Okay, so yan yung first quartile na natin, nakuha na natin siya. Ngayon, proceed naman tayo sa pagkuha ng second quartile. So, sa pagkuha naman ng second quartile, same formula, same procedure. Ang mag-iiba lang dyan ay yung value ng ating K kasi second quartile na yung hinahanap natin. So, magiging 2 na yung K natin dyan. And again, 9 plus 1 divided by 4. So, second quartile is equal to 9 plus 1 is 10 times 2 divided by 4 will have 5. Okay. So, in this case, hindi decimal yung nakuha nating sagot. Okay? Ayan, maingay ng paligid. So, hindi na natin kailangang gawin itong ginawa natin sa first quartile kasi whole number na yung nakuha nating sagot. So, bilangin lang natin kung ano ba yung number na pang-5 doon sa ating dataset. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Therefore, si 15 yung ating second quartile. And if you notice, sabi ko kanina, 'di ba, kung kung ano yung median natin, yun na yung second quartile natin. And dito sa ating data set, 'di ba? Si 15 din yung median natin, right? Kasi meron tayong odd numbers ng number of observations. So si 15 yung pinakagitna, siya yung median natin, siya na rin yung ating second quartile. Okay, next. Ayan, nakuha na natin si first quartile and second quartile. Sunod naman natin kunin yung ating third quartile using the same procedures. This time, yung value ng k natin ay magiging 3. So, 9 plus 1 divided by 4. Third quartile is equal to 9 plus 1 is 10 times 3, of course, that is 30 divided by 4 will give us the answer 7.5. 7.5. So, kaya na ginawa natin sa first quartile, kasi decimal yung nakuha nating sagot, kunin natin yung pang-pitong number plus yung decimal na nakuha natin, 0.5. Then, yung subtraction ng pang-8 number at pang-7 number. Okay, yung pang-7 number natin ay 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is 19 plus 0.5. Yung pang-8 number natin ay si 20 less 19. Solve natin. 20 less 19, of course, that is 1 times 0.5 will be 0.5 plus 19, that is 19.5. So, therefore, ang value ng ating third quartile ay 19.5. As simple as that.